I tried this on there we go. Caviar already on now. You ready?
Why yours on it over there? You gotta turn yours over to the side a little bit.
Say what now?
Oh, you want it in front of you? Okay.
No, I'm trying to get you in it.
You're gonna have to do it like that way. Mm-hmm.
Ready? Hey guys.
Hello, you guys. We are back at it again. So, wanna go ahead and get this?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead and take
That's
it.
ready.
Go ahead, take it
Well,
away.
I'm Stephanie Rochelle, your life coach, a relationship rehab specialist, coming at you again. And we have...
Hello, everyone. Again, I am D.Renee, the transformation specialist, and I support women with overcoming obstacles to help them elevate in life and business. As a transformational life coach and consultant, I help women to discover who they are, to increase their self-esteem and their self-confidence, eliminate limiting beliefs, as well as negative self-talk messages, so that they may walk boldly and freely into their purpose and be able to create the life that they want. And that's what I do.
Now let's recap on last week. So what we're going to do each week, we have a fishbowl with some lady topics. This is for the ladies. And we're just going to pull one out. We don't know what it's going to be. And we're just going to go from there.
Yep. Sounds
And
good.
but what we need is interactive. So we need you guys, the ladies, to chime in. We need you guys to respond.
Yes.
So this is not just us up here talking. This is a ladies meeting room. Hey Steve, this is for the ladies.
Hey Steve, you can stay though. You have a conversation. You got some. You might have something important to add to the topic. So you guys, so what we would like for you all to do with this particular live, we'd like for you to share, because we want to invite as many people as possible so that we can get everybody's input on the topic. It makes it much more interactive if you share, like, and do all of those things. So we want you all to invite other people. So hit the share button. Sharing is caring. It's free to share. Hit the share button and so that we can get some more people on tonight. So we are looking forward to this. We are so thankful for you guys tuning in on our first episode last week. And we hope that you guys enjoyed it just as much as we did.
It was fun.
Because last week's topic was phenomenal.
Yeah.
And we talked about intimacy issues. And then the second topic was self-esteem as it relates to some of those intimacy issues.
And infidelity. Remember?
Yeah.
And infidelity.
So infidelity was definitely a part of that. So since we didn't receive any outside emails or anything like that from last week's topic, please remember that if you have something confidential or something like that that you want to send to us. Hi Cheryl. Hi Karen. How are you guys doing? So if you guys have anything confidential that you want to send to us, you can send it to my inbox at info@tlccs.net or
Stephanie Rochelle Consulting at gmail.com.
All right. So you guys, with that being said, we are ready for the fun part.
Yes.
And we also, before we get started, we also need you guys to send us more topics so we can make this, we can get all your questions answered so that you can, have your topic or
put in the fishbowl. Your
issue in our fishbowl, okay? Great.
All right, so am I picking?
Yes, you can pick.
Let's see what we got. Oh, we did that one.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know how to get back in there. Ah! Intentional dating. Dating with a purpose.
Ooh.
Dating with a purpose.
Dating with a purpose. Intentional dating with a purpose is our topic for tonight.
Yeah.
And so, since Miss Stephanie is our relationship rehab specialist, and she's going to help everybody find their fairy tale, we're going to let her go first with this one.
You know, I'm big on intentional dating. I mean, to me, you have to have a strategy in place. Like, I mean, if the goal is a relationship, you have to date with a purpose. You have to have a strategy in place. You know, for me, like I said, you guys know, well, some of you guys may or may not know, but me and my husband met online. Well, before I met my husband online, I mean, I was meeting a bunch of people, nice guys. I have nothing to say about who I met, but I mean, everybody on the online dating scene say that they wanted a relationship, but in reality, they really didn't. So when I realized I couldn't play the way that they were playing, you know, I came up with my own set of rules. And for me, when I met my husband, you know, I was just meeting him online. He was interested in a relationship, and it held true because we actually talked for 2 months. We just talked and got to know one another to see if we even wanted to do anything after that. Most of the guys you meet won't do that. That is intentional dating.
Karen say, I'm ready to date. All right, Karen.
Okay, Karen, you ready to date? But think about what I'm saying in regards to intentional dating. Even if you have not tried to date online, even if you just meet somebody.
I know what I want. I'm not interested in anyone who has anything else that they want to offer. I tell people quick, I tell guys quick, I'm not interested in going around Atlanta collecting a whole bunch of male friends. Because when I find my husband, those friends are out the door, period. So when we speak about intentional dating, to me, that means I know that I want to be married. I know that I want what type of relationship that I want. I know I want a spouse that, you know, is able to, you know, contribute in certain areas and in certain ways, that, you know, does certain things, and that's family oriented, that's, you know, a provider, that does all of these things. And because I know, hi John, and because I know that I want someone who is ready for a commitment, who is ready for a marriage. Hi, Vivian. Who's ready to do all of these things. I'm not going to deal with the riffraff. Meaning, if you're coming, if I meet you and your words and your actions are not in alignment, you're not consistent, you're not, you know, doing the things that you're supposed to do as it relates to me, you only want to be a friend with probably you want some benefits. So if you only want this, that, and the third, and it's not in alignment and in agreement with the things that I desire and the things that I want, then I'm going to do like Stephanie said, next. I don't have time to sit here and go through the motions, because you're wasting your time, you're wasting your energy, you're wasting all those things that you need to be putting into somebody who's really worth it, because you're going to end up getting your feelings hurt, your expectations and your needs are not going to be met, because you're wasting time.
So you're saying you're going to have this conversation with the guy that you meet and tell him that these are the things that you're looking for. Which again, I would say that's another weeding out tactic, just like my getting to know you questions is another weeding out tactic. If they are not willing to get to know you, they're not interested in a relationship. I don't care what they told you. Like she said, the actions are going to speak for itself. And I'm a person of action. I mean, you can tell me anything. If I don't see it, you lying.
Hi, Anthony.
Yeah, you're not. You're not. We're not after the same things, and that's the thing. And what I talk about a lot of time is stop trying to make it fit. Stop trying to make it fit. If they are not looking for the same things that you're looking for, you got to say next.
That's it.
You got to say next, because you're wasting time. You're wasting time. You're going to end up spending a year with this person, and you guys do not want the same things. It's not going to change. And you just need to say next. Spend time with somebody that wants the same thing as you. Intentional dating. That's what we're talking about. Intentional dating.
Intentional dating. Karen, are you ready to tell us what intentional dating means to you? Are you guys? Tell us what intentional dating means to you. Even if you're married, you know, what was it like when you were looking for your spouse? Because obviously you were in a place to where you were seeking and wanting someone. So what did that look like for you in that moment, at that time when you were seeking after that? because as it relates to, you know, several people, I think people nowadays tend to like lower their standards just to kind of deal with whatever it is that's coming their way. Oh, well, no, we could just barely be friends, or we could just, and there's nothing wrong with that, because you have to go through the get to know process. But you know, don't ignore the red flags. Don't ignore those things that are telling you, okay, no, this guy's not for real. If you know what you want and you know, stick to that.
Stick to it.
Stick to that.
Stick to it. It's key. It's key. Do not try to make it fit. Do not try to make it fit.
If the what was what's his name?
If it don't fit it quick.
Yes.
But seriously,
Johnny Cochran.
Stick to it. Do not. Hey, Kim. Do not try. Kim, tonight we're talking about intentional dating. Intentional dating. Not, you know, being upfront about what you're looking for. This is a weeding out process that we're trying to do, because we spend too much time, in my opinion. I'm on the outside looking in, but I'm just telling you what I did. You know, I was looking for a relationship because I'm a relationship person. So I wasn't interested, like you saying, having all these guy friends, meeting all these different people. But yet and still, I had to go through the weeding out process. Right. I had to meet some. You know, I had to meet some
trolls.
I had to meet some frogs. You know, before I found the prince. That's just how it goes. But don't be scared to throw them back. You know, sometimes they need to understand that you're serious about what you're doing, to say, okay, well, I can't come at her this kind of way. I got to come a different way, because she's serious about what she's looking for. So they may not be ready at that moment. You know what I mean? But they may have to come back around on the second wave or something like that. But they out for now. They out.
So what?
I'm saying next.
So what happens when the woman is, you know, desperate? Like but she's that too.
That's my word.
She's desperate. You know, women sometimes they do things out of being lonely,
right,
and things like that. You settle.
You got to stick with the goal, though. You got to stay focused. Intentional. You got to stay focused. So no matter what.
How do they do that?
Do not make it try to fit.
Okay.
Don't.
Even if they're lonely.
Even yes,
even he can't give them what they want, but
if it doesn't align, if what he wants and what you want do not align, next, period. Because it's not gonna go anywhere, guys. You're gonna waste your time. If you want a relationship, that means eventually you're trying to get married. So why am I gonna waste this year with you, this 6 months with you, and we don't want the same thing? You're wasting my time, and my time is precious. I didn't allow it. But, you know, a lot of people thought that I said next too soon. And to me, I didn't, because I ended up with the prince. So I'm good with it. I'm good with how everything went down. You know, but that's my story. But I'm trying to get more ladies. To me, in my opinion, I see them, I won't say wasting their time, but they're trying to make it fit.
So I would say to the woman who is lonely and the woman who is wanting to have that mate or that person there, and they're dating people. Hi, Matthew. They're dating people who are not necessarily a good fit for them, but to increase your self-esteem and to know that you are worth way more than what you're settling for, because a guy is only going to treat you how you allow him to, and how you treat yourself. So if you're going to settle knowing that you don't want that, and knowing that you want more than what this person is giving you, but yet you settle because you're lonely.
Be intentional.
You know, you have to be intentional, and you have to stay the course, because it's a process.
Yep.
You know, you may get tired, because I know I was tired. I know I was tired.
Yep.
I mean, I was on a dating site, you guys, for like 5 days, and I got off because it was just too overwhelming for me. It was just.
But again, that's I met
a whole bunch of trolls, and I was just like tired. It wasn't. I'm like, you know what? The guy that I wanted, he can't be on here, because this is just way too much for me. But you know,
again, frustration and being impatient, it don't fit.
No,
it don't fit. So again, we still waiting. We still looking. We still. I mean, you know what I mean.
Hi, Rose.
We still waiting and looking. You got it. You got to be able to say next. I mean, I had to go through the trolls. I had to go through the frogs. But that's just part of the process. I don't care if you're online. I don't care if you meet them in the grocery store. You know, people are people. So their intentions and my intentions they need to line up, and if they don't, we got to say next.
And so for those people who are just joining us, we're talking about intentional dating and dating with a purpose. Now, some people are just out here. I'm still waiting patiently. Me too, Kimberly. Me too.
That's right. And you know why, Kim? Because you're good. You're good. You need to wait. You need to wait on the one that everything lines up. And not when I say everything, I don't mean not everything, but I'm just saying you guys both want the same thing. That's what we're saying.
Yeah. So, and when you're talking about dating with a purpose, you have to first know what that purpose is. You have to know exactly what you want. What I find when working with a lot of women is that we always know what we don't want.
Yes.
But it's very difficult to say, well, what do you want? Like, what do you want? Yes. Because a lot of people don't know what they want. They always tell you what they don't want, and right. I want them to, I like to reverse engineer that thing.
Yes.
Tell me, what do you want? And it's very difficult because if you're out here, you're dating and you have all this purpose, you're right. dating with intention and you're dating with purpose. Hi, Angela. You need to know what
That's
you
right.
want.
That's
you need
right.
to know what it is. What is your intention?
But
You
then
need to know what your
something...
end result and who you want and the type of person that you want to be with.
But here, right. But here's the other thing. Okay, so I wanted a communicator. I wanted somebody that was going to love my daughter. I wanted these things. But then you have to ask yourself, well, Stephanie, are you a good communicator? You want these things, but when it comes, are you ready to do it as well? Because you think you are.
Okay.
You think you are, but now when you get this different kind of guy, the guy that you say that you're wanting, and then you really see where you fall short in some areas too. So you got to be willing to grow and change as well.
Yeah. So what you're saying is basically those things that you're asking someone to have,
Absolutely.
those qualities that you're looking for in someone else, just make sure that you can see them in yourself.
Exactly. Or be working on it. We're all growing and changing and learning. Be working on it. I don't know everything, but I'm willing to grow, change, learn some stuff. And that's why we're doing these lives.
Right.
We're trying to share. We're trying to help each other. So we need y'all. We need some feedback. What do y'all think about that?
And don't forget to share because I'm sure there are a lot of people out there who need this. So so basically what Stephanie just said is that you have to make sure that whatever it is that you're asking this other person to have, and since we do have guys on the live tonight, that goes for the guys too. Exactly. Some of these guys may be married, some may not be. However, if you are looking and seeking a mate to have, they need to have good credit, and they need to have a house, and they need to have a car, and they need to have a bank account, and they need with this amount of money, they need to be making this, and they need to be making that. And if you have all these standards, you got to hold yourself to those same standards. You can't want Prince Charming, or you can't want William and Harry, and you down here with you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You guys get it.
You got to get yourself together as well, because we're supposed to help them as well. You know what I mean? So we need to come together as well. So in the meantime, we need to be working on ourselves. We need to be growing. We need to be growing. We need to be listening to these lives and just thinking about what we're saying. Just think about it. Be intentional. But like she said, get an understanding of what you're looking for so that you're clear. So that you're clear about what you want. You need to be clear.
Gotta be clear.
You need to be clear about what you're looking for. You're just gonna be spinning your wheels
on a mission going nowhere fast, with disappointment, unmet expectations, and a lot of loneliness and tiredness and a lot of headache. That's basically typically how that end up that works. Because
and let's back up, because we had talked about the thirsty, being a little thirsty. To me, in my opinion, that would be the biggest turnoff. I don't care what side it was coming from, the male or the lady. Be yourself, and wait and make sure it's right. That's that intentional dating. Just because you want to be married, and you want it to work. We're not trying to get married and then get divorced because we didn't take a minute, to really look at some things. Take your time. Me and my husband, even though we dated 3 years before he proposed, and then Yeah.
Hi, Michelle.
No. 2 years he proposed, and then we got married the third year. So, hey, Michelle.
So, for you guys who are just joining us, we're talking about our topic today. We pulled from our fishbowl was intentional dating and dating with a purpose. So Stephanie just talked about the thirsty female. So let's go more in detail about that a little bit more. So when you think about a thirsty female, I think about, now they're telling women, oh, you got to be more aggressive. Or, oh, you got to, you if you see him over there and you want him, don't wait for him to come over here to you, go to him.
And that would never work for me because I'm old fashioned. So what am I supposed to do? I'm just supposed to what?
But does that mean they're thirsty? Like if you're aggressive, does that mean you're thirsty?
No, I don't think that means you're thirsty, but it also doesn't work for my personality. Okay. I mean, I don't believe in the chasing the guy. I believe the man is supposed to chase you. That's just me. That's just me.
So what does thirsty mean to you guys? We want to see that in a comment because this is going to be interesting to know.
Right. But for me though, the thirsty is trying to be, in my opinion, trying to be so accommodating to fit this guy. That's what thirsty means to me. And you can't be, if that's not you, you can't be that for a long period of time.
So basically, the representative.
You trying to
whatever
be somebody
he like,
that whatever he want to do, whatever. That is just, what you gonna do that for 20 years? Then you're not living your life. I mean, you see what I'm saying?
Just do it long enough to get him.
No. And then what? Because see, at the end of the day, it's about. See, you guys missed my episode on you're okay and he's okay. He's okay. You both got to be okay. It can't just be okay. Now I got him, and now you're gonna turn into this crazy person. Well, that ain't gonna work.
So basically, you need to be yourself.
You need to be yourself.
You need to be yourself. So when she speak about being thirsty, she's saying that don't sit here and be a representative. Don't pretend you like to cook every day. Don't pretend like you're this woman that does X, Y, and Z. Don't pretend that you're doing all of these things and you're this type of person or that type of person. Knowing daggone well that you're not, and that's not something you're going to be able to keep up long term. So that's her definition of thirsty. We're still waiting for you guys to tell us what your definition of thirsty. I think Kim said, I'm listening in step. I'm getting myself together and I'm not going to be thirsty for nothing.
That's right.
What does that, I think
she's
talking to me. No, it has to say see more.
Okay. And nobody. Not going to be thirsty for nothing and nobody.
Yes, ma'am. I've learned. That's right.
Yes, ma'am.
Kimberly, what did you learn? Because when you think about being thirsty, with Stephanie's definition of being thirsty, meaning you're not being authentically yourself. She's a caterer,
but it's okay because that's who she is. So it's because she cooks and all of this stuff. So that's okay because that's who she is. So I wouldn't consider that. In that respect, being thirsty, Kim. I wouldn't consider that being. But, there's other ways as well. But no, not in that way. You're a caterer. You should be a caterer because that's who you are.
Now, my definition of thirsty is on the opposite side where you have someone being, presenting a representative and not being authentically themselves.
Right.
So my definition of thirsty is someone who is definitely like running after the men. Like, you know how you say the men have to chase the women?
Absolutely.
Like these women are you being more aggressive and you are like intentionally doing things to get the attention of them. That's not necessarily, morally or not necessarily valuing yourself in order to be able to get that attention. So that's my definition of thirsty as it relates
being
to
aggressive.
Yeah. Well, not necessarily aggressive because some women they do that. Like I don't know if I can do that. Like I might sit there and I might, look at you.
Exactly.
Smile at you,
right,
or something like
that. That's it. But you're gonna have to get up and come approach me. Yes, I'm not buying you a drink, or I'm not gonna be the man. You're gonna have to be the man when it comes to Stephanie.
So that's me. But when I say thirsty, like they are like doing everything to just like you going out the house butt naked.
Yes.
Like you just got on these little see-through stuff with your panties and your bra on. Like what are you asking for? Yes. You know what I'm saying? What are you asking for? It seems very thirsty to me because it's like, well, what are you doing?
Well, they think they just being sexy.
That's what they mean?
That's what they think. I mean, that's what they tell me when I say it. That's your definition. And
that's my definition.
You know, so again, she has her definition. I have mine. Sending in a different representative because you're not keeping it up. You know, 6 months from now, are you going to be that person? You know, and that's what that's how it was for me. I had to guard up. I was like, no, we gonna see. Nobody can just, you know, keep this up. But my husband stayed consistent. He was a nice guy then. He's still a nice guy today. You know. Years later. I'm still, Kimberly told us her definition of thirsty. You guys tell us your definition of what thirsty is to you as it relates to intentional dating. Right. Like, so that we can continue to move on with that conversation. So our topic today, for those who just joined us, is intentional dating and dating with a purpose. And so we've discussed a few things since talking about dating with a purpose. So Kimberly said, it seems like they take me for granted because they said I catered to my significant other and I'm a good woman, but I met knucklehead. Ooh, Kimberly. But you know what though, Kim? But see, I mean, unfortunately, that's you, and that's okay, because when you meet up with the right one that's going to appreciate all that stuff that you do, that's when you know you hit the jackpot. Yeah.
So it's definitely, so my question, Kimberly, would be, what were some of the red flags that you overlooked in that particular situation to know that, okay, he was a knucklehead from the beginning, but I think I just kind of overlooked it. Because there are some things, because you have to be authentically yourself. Right. And because Steph know you, she's saying that you're this catering person.
Right.
And we definitely don't want you to change who you are and not be who you are, so that you can be able to, you know, make whomever it is that you're supposed to be with happy. So my question would be, what were the red flags that were there before all of that you kind of overlooked or did not see questions to know that he was a knucklehead and you were catering to someone who did not deserve that?
Absolutely. Let's go back to the beginning. I said that Alex and I talked for 2 months trying to get to know each other. I mean, did you really try to get to know each other, or were you just excited that you knew him from years, you know, previous? You know, you have to take the time. When we say intentional, there is a method. There is a strategy to dating. And if they don't want to follow it, then that's how you have to weed them out, because you have to believe that there will be a next guy coming. You can't believe that he is the only guy.
Oh, that's,
and I think that's what they do. Yeah.
And then what Kimberly said, that's what I did. I tried to change them. Yeah, Kimberly, you definitely can't change. One thing I have learned is you can't change a grown man. A man is once they show you who they are, believe them.
That's who they are.
You cannot try to go into any type of relationship trying to change anyone. You're wasting your time. You're exalting all your energy, and your emotions is tied up in the midst of all that as well. So that's definitely not something that you know you should be going in thinking that they can change them. But that's a lot of women, and I think that sometimes you know, when working with couples and working with women over the last 15 years, you learn that a lot of women, they settle for stuff like that, and they think because they're settling that, oh, well, he'll change for me,
right?
Or, you know, if I just be so good to him, that he will do this or that he will do that, and then we get our feelings hurt, or then we're looking crazy when that does not happen, because they don't change, and because you being so nice and so kind, and you want all these things in return for your kindness, and in return because you're a good person, and you think, oh, well, if they see that I'm such a good person, then they're going to do X, Y, Z. And when that doesn't work out that way, then we're hurt, we're destroyed, you know, and it's almost like we're doing it to ourselves, because the signs were there in the beginning, and we wasn't being authentically truthful with ourselves, not just being authentic with
scared
who
to
you
have
are.
a conversation.
That's
scared
right.
to have a conversation.
Yeah. So
you seem to be a nice guy. You know, I'm going to make this work right here. We're talking about the long haul. We're talking about a relationship. Because, see, that's what I'm saying. That's what I feel happens. You know what I mean? We again, trying to make it fit. Trying to make it fit. You don't have to make it fit. You know, it really and truly, it should just work. It should just flow.
Yeah.
It should just flow. You really don't have to make it fit when it's the right one. It's easy.
I definitely agree with you, Stephanie. I definitely agree with you on that. We all know that relationships and marriages take work.
It takes work.
But when you are meeting when you're in a relationship, when you're in a situationship, that's what I'm going to call it. When you're in a situationship with someone that you should not be in, it is like 30 times more hard.
Yeah.
Like, it causes so much distress that it's ridiculous. And if you have to work that hard, because I found myself at one point in time like, Lord, this ain't it. This too hard. And I'm not out. This wasn't even a marriage. This was a relationship. But I'm like, no, this too hard, because it shouldn't be that hard.
Right.
Life is already hard enough. Like, dealing with in a relationship with someone, and you're intentionally dating, that you're intentionally seeking after to build and to grow with, it doesn't have to be that difficult.
Right. Well, really and truly, I want to add that you should be adding to each other. So, Kim, if you're the one that's always doing everything, I don't want to say that he wasn't doing anything, but he should be adding value to you, and you should be adding value to him as well. I mean, that's what I mean when I say I'm okay and you're okay. You should both be okay. You see what I'm saying? And that's how you know it's a partnership. It's a partnership. It shouldn't just be me doing everything and he just, no. Well, that wouldn't work for Stephanie anyway, but, it should be I'm okay and he's okay.
So, from the guys, I really want to know what you men think is thirsty. Like, I want to know what you guys think is a thirsty woman. I'm really interested
to know
your opinions about what you view as a thirsty woman, because I'm sure you guys meet them, especially married men.
Oh, yeah.
It seems like when men get married, they're even more attracted to the thirsties, right? Yeah. So, what is your definition of that, and how does that kind of, work with you all? So we're definitely interested in knowing that.
We're talking about intentional dating with a purpose. So we're trying to get some of the guys to chime in on what we call the thirsty ladies.
You've always been stern since school stuff. Well, and that's good. That's a good way to be, because it weeds out a lot of foolishness. You know what I'm saying? And it weeds out a lot of foolishness. You have
to know that you can't play. I already know I can't play. And again, in addition to that, guys, I know I'm good. I mean, I'm a nice person. I don't have to do all of this extra stuff. I bring good stuff to the table. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to do all that extra stuff. So I'm waiting on the guy, which I found, that appreciates me and I appreciate him. And that's the one I worked with.
Okay. All right. So, you guys, Robin, we're talking about intentional dating and dating with a purpose. So, if you guys have any more questions or any more comments about that, please feel free to put them in here. Please go ahead and share, like our lives. Right. What did Kimberly say? And you don't
go backwards.
You come.
She talking about me.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
So just please share, like on the comments. So, if you have any more comments about the intentional dating and dating with a purpose, please put that information on here. Think we need to move on. Let's get our other topic going.
Pick another one. What time we got?
I don't know. I don't have time.
What time we got? Let's see. Who has the time? Oh, there
it's 9:03.
Okay, yeah, we're looking good with time.
Yeah, we look real good with time.
Okay, let me pick another one. Let me see what we got here. See if we can get y'all to chime in. Whoa.
Whoa.
Okay, y'all, we're switching subjects. This one is blended family. When to introduce the kids.
Ooh. So
making sure your kids is raised. Because you about to... I said...
Okay. Raise bad kids. What's that? Blended family when you introduce the kids.
Basically what this is saying, like sometimes I've learned in blended family, like thank God. When we blended our family, all of our kids were good kids. So it was easy, that we didn't have that issue. But a lot of times what I find in talking to people... I have a friend, he was like, well, we like each other, and it's just like, he said, but Steph, the kids, they she wouldn't be ready for the discipline that I'm trying to bring. So therefore he's waiting, and she may not even realize, or she may know, I don't know, that she's stopping her life from going forward because she doesn't want to discipline her kids. She don't want to raise her kids, because that's our job to do that.
So he was basically saying that he would like to move forward with her in a relationship, but he's
they're
not
in a
gonna
relationship, but I mean, as far as like getting married,
right? So he wants to take the relationship forward, but he won't do that because their views on disciplining the children are different.
Correct.
So as a result of that, that's holding her back from basically getting what she wants in that relationship, which is to be married.
Yes.
Interesting. So
what do y'all think about that?
Yes. So
that's real interesting.
It's very interesting. So how did you do it?
Well, for us, like I said, the kids were good. Autumn was older, and when I met my husband, his kids were 7 and 8 at the time. So again, me and my husband are a lot alike. We're both, the same signs. So we had a lot of the same discipline. The way we thought was the same. So that made it easy. And then again, I think it only makes it difficult when you're not finished with the other relationship too that you're coming out of. Okay. I created boundaries, for my ex. So we didn't have any of that coming into this relationship, and we didn't have any problem on his side as well. So that was another thing. We were just all grown, I would say. So we didn't have those issues. But a lot of times what I see on the outside is, the relationship didn't work. So, I mean, you spoil the kid. You try to be everything because, they had to go through this bad period of life. But now you end up with
this overcompensating. You
overcompensate. But now, due to the overcompensation, now you really didn't discipline your child the way that you really should have disciplined your child. But now you found what you thought is your boo, the person that you want to move forward with. But then now we got, just like that scenario I just mentioned, but now we got this kid over here that really can't come over here because, they not letting everything sink up like a nice ship. So what do you do?
Well, I mean, being a single person, just speaking for being a single person with 2 boys, my boys have met one person. My baby boy just turned 11 years old. He has met one person that I've dated, just one person. For me, if I don't feel like it's going anywhere, right? Or Absolutely. If I need a time frame. I need to at least have about 3-4 months of, we're good. Absolutely. Because after dating a whole bunch of trolls and after, people can switch up and they can change up in the middle of something, you know, so you need to allow that time to be able to see this person true and authentic self, because initially you're going to get that representative. But when you date them for over 90 days, Steve Harvey always talk about his 90 days, so giving 90 days.
You got to get to know each other.
You have to
like
get to know.
Said before, intentional.
Yes.
It goes back to
that. So you have to get to know them, but too often, people introduce the kids way too soon into something, and then they lead with these kids being in the middle of a situation if it doesn't work out. Like, that's why I said, for me, it's hard to get anyone. Well, it's not hard for them, but it's hard for me to introduce my boys into a situation. Like, I need to know that I know that this is our situation for real, and that we're moving forward on some level in order for you to be brought to my boys, because the last thing I want is them to see their mama bringing this person, because I have to create some type of boundary, and I have to create some type of vision for them to know that it's not okay for women to to have this man or that man, and be around here with a whole bunch of different men, and they see that as a model or as what they're supposed to do, because that's not going to be me. And so for me, introducing my kids, it takes a lot. And the guy that I did introduce them to, we're still cool, but we're still working through some things. So it wasn't like that was still even after 90. I think maybe 3 months in or what have you. He did meet them, but after a while, you still, you just have to be mindful because your children are valuable in this whole situation. Absolutely. And they're vulnerable in this situation.
So you're saying, not only does the relationship have to fit, so the kids have to fit as well.
Absolutely, they got to fit. So because
I think so too.
I mean, that's the only way you're gonna live in harmony.
That's
because
right.
If you're speaking about, okay, this is the person that I want to be with, and this is the person that I want to build a life with, then you're gonna have to cohabitate with these kids.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. And you don't want them around here being little aliens, and they're about to burn down the house, and they're talking to him crazy, they're talking to her crazy. For those guys who have kids, and they're being disrespectful, and these people are telling you, well, this is what your child is doing when you're not around, or this is what that child is doing. And you're like, well, no, they're not like that when we're here. It's just going to create too much discord. It's going to create too many problems, and it's going to cause things to break up. I mean, unfortunately, it will, unless you get the therapy or unless you seek. But what I've also understood is that sometimes, like Stephanie said too, is that both parents, the exes, you have to be on one accord. You have to be on one accord because what happens too,
or you got to know who you're dealing with as well.
Right. Because what happens too is kids split.
Right.
They manipulate and they can split. And so the best way to win is to divide and conquer. So when you're talking about dividing and conquering, you, husband and wife, or boyfriend and girlfriend that's eventually planning on being husband and wife, you have to connect. You have to communicate. You have to be on one accord with each other and how you're going to discipline. So your friend that you spoke about earlier, it sounds like they're not on one accord.
They're not.
With how to discipline their children.
Right.
Because that is going to be his children.
That's
might not be biological. They still might have their real father, but he's still going to be the bonus dad.
That's right.
And being the bonus dad, you still have to be able to, connect. Because you want to live in harmony. Now, if you want a dysfunctional family, you want things all in a disarray, you're going to have to figure it out. Well, so whether that means you guys get like family counseling before you go into this this situation, because you're gonna have to be on one accord. It can't be my kids versus her kids.
Right.
Everybody got to be one. Yeah. And what I enjoy, what I have enjoyed, seeing you guys is just how you guys just kind of flow.
We do.
With AJ, what's the other baby name? Ari. And Autumn is just seeing everything kind of work together, and they sisters and brothers, and it's not this person versus that person, and it's not they get better treatment than that person, because that's gonna create too much discord. Like, it's not those not my kids. I hear people saying that. Even when in my counseling sessions, and even when I'm working with women in coaching, those not my. What do you mean they're not your kids? When you choose a mate, you choose the kids. Me and my boys, we're a package deal. There's no me without them. I'm sorry, because if we plan,
you have to have family time, and you have to have y'all together time. I mean, you can't just always be y'all two and then leave the kids. We have to do it all together.
Right. So when you talk about intentional dating as it relates to these blended families, you need to make sure that mate is going to be someone who is family oriented.
That's right.
Not just someone who wants to deal with you and you only, and exclude your children out of the whole equation, because that's unacceptable.
That's right.
Because your intention is to get married. Your intention is to find someone suitable for you to be able to move forward in life.
And you have to look at all of the situation, not just you and him. Being suitable, because once y'all get in the same house under the same roof, then we got something different.
Burn down.
We got something different. But again, you can't be scared to say next. You can't be scared to ask the questions. It's the only way you're gonna get there. You can't figure it out once you get married. It may be too much for people.
So what are some things that you would suggest, like for anybody, if you're in a situation where you're in a blended family and there's like discord with the kids and all that.
You got to have family meetings. You got to sit down and talk about it. So everybody understands that we're all on the same page. We got to flush it out. Hi,
Lita, and are you there?
Hey, Lita.
So, guys, what we're talking about today, the two topics that we're discussed today, we talked a little earlier about intentional dating and dating with a purpose.
Yep.
So now our second topic is blended family and raising kids. So we're kind of tying them two into one because it all kind of goes together. But the topic that we're discussing right now is blended family. Like, what have been some of your experiences with a blended family, if that has been your experience?
Yes.
I mean, some people,
trying to
they
get
might
y'all
not
to
have
communicate.
had that.
Come on, chime in, help us out.
And we also want you guys to share, because I'm sure there are a lot of people out there who may be going through, you know, some of these things. So
Absolutely.
we want you guys to share this live feed, because some of the information we might have might be valuable. Even if it's not for you, it might be for someone else. Right. And we just want to provide value because we, you know, families are precious.
That's right.
You know,
in 2019, we gonna grow, y'all. We changing. It's time to make some changes. It's time to make some changes. We are growing in 2019.
I agree.
So we got to get this. We got to get intentional dating down. We got to get this blended family down. We got to get these topics down. That's why we're discussing it. And if you never discuss it, then we'll never know. So we're trying to get it on the table now.
And see, and at my age, when I speak about dating, most guys are probably going to have a child.
That's right.
Just like I have 2 kids.
Yeah.
You know, most guys are probably going to have children. So we're going to have to be able to cohabitate. So, I mean, it seems like it's a lot of grown people on these lives. So, you know, if you're single and you have kids, you're going to have to be able to cohabitate, because blended family is what you're going to eventually have.
So it goes back to that earlier conversation we were talking about communication. So communication has to be there then. Because now you got to talk about y'all's babies, and you know how we get when we talking about my child and they child. You know how we get.
Mama bear, Papa bear.
You got to know how to communicate. We got to do it different in 2019, y'all. We cannot keep doing the same things. Apparently it's not working. So that's why we're having these discussions. We're trying to grow. Everybody's on here to grow. You guys are still on here. So chime in, help us out, give us your thoughts.
And when you speak about the communication, like you said before, you can't be afraid to talk about it, because when you're being intentional about the person that you're dating, and you have kids and they have kids, or they don't have kids and you have kids, or you don't have kids and they have kids, you're still going to be involved as a blended family. It's still a blended family, regardless of how the dynamics of the children come into place. It's still a blended family.
And again, you're supposed to add value, and they're supposed to add value. So I mean, I picked up kids from school, and I mean, wherever I can help, wherever he can help. I mean, that's how it should be, because they're our children.
And see, I love the way that you just said that, because our is very important, because kids already come in probably feeling like an outsider in the situation. You know, mama or daddy got this new person that they're, you know, that they're kind of interested in.
But you know what? But because I had went through that first, I was very sensitive to that. I was very sensitive to that. So we didn't have that issue here. Everybody feels at home here. But even people that come, I mean, we just have a peaceful home.
Well, I mean, even still, you still have to be open to the kids, and you have to value them as your own. That's right. You know what I'm saying? But and make them feel loved and make them feel welcome. And I think we said that. So Nicole writes, I have not had a blended family experience yet. I have to work on right now. Yes, you do, honey, because he is very, very, very protective of you, Nicole.
But start working on that, because it could be around the corner, Nicole, so you're not going to be ready when it comes. That's what we're talking about in 2019. We're going to be ready. We're getting better. We're growing. We're changing. We're making some changes. So how do you
think she can work on that relationship? Because they have a very, very close relationship and a very loving, good relationship.
Start talking to him. Start breaking them in. I mean, I'm sure he wants you to be happy. But start talking to him. Start having these conversations.
So she should go,
like it's getting ready to happen.
So she should go to him in a way of saying, well, you know, mommy wants this or mommy wants that, and this is what makes me happy. Right. And, you know, and start talking to him about what makes her happy in those situations.
Yeah, because the end result is he wants you happy.
Yeah. Look, let me tell y'all. So my boys used to tell me a long time ago, I don't want you to get married. I don't want you to get married. I don't like, they didn't know.
And at that moment,
especially
you
my
should have
oldest
said, well, that's
son,
not fair because you want mommy to be happy as well.
And that's exactly what, like my oldest son, he's 16 now. He used to always, I don't want you to get married. I don't want you to, no. Like, it was just me and him and me and, me and the boys, and that's it. They just wanted me all to myself. But now, he's a teenager. Of course, it's like, I don't care what you do.
Yeah,
because he's doing what he's doing.
And he knows he's going to be leaving too. So now he wants you to have somebody.
Yes.
That's what that's about.
So, so now, but, my small son, my 11-year-old, he's always been open, to the idea. But that oldest one, he used to be like, no, you can't get married. No. And they used to irritate me because I'm like, no, that's what I want. That's what that's what I need. That's what we need to complete our family. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
To complete the family and to have that balance and so that we can be in harmony. So, Nicole, you got to get to talking. Just, as if it's going to happen.
That's
and
right.
just
because it could.
Mommy wants to be happy because ultimately we all want companionship. Ultimately we all want that relationship, with the opposite sex. So
absolutely,
it's definitely a topic that
you gotta have a conversation, Nicole.
Yeah.
He round the corner, 2019. We're getting better. We're getting better in 2019.
And we're dating more, we're dating more.
We're dating with intention.
We're dating with intentions, that's right.
We're dating with intention. We're having the hard conversations up front.
Now, you date with intentions only if you're ready for a relationship.
Absolutely.
If you just out here dating and you just want to have fun, then by all means, do you.
Yeah, if you just want to date every now and then, that's, do you.
But
we're talking about relationships.
I'm going to start talking to Renee more about it. Right now, I keep my dating life away from him. Absolutely, Nicole. I 100% agree with you on that. I don't know if you heard me earlier. Blake is 11. He has met one person in 11 years. One.
Yeah.
In 11 years. I don't play that. My kids are my protector. And,
that's right.
In my book, I even wrote about why that is so important to me to not have, different men come around because I was exposed to that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I wasn't going to allow my kids to see stuff like that. So I keep that totally separate from my house. Like, I know we talk about like the old school dating and stuff like that. When people come and pick you up from your house, I don't even want you to know where I live because this is where my kids dwell. This is my safe place, my haven. I'm going to meet you somewhere.
Right.
Until I get to know you on that level, you can't come to my house and pick me up. I'm sorry. I do believe in chivalry. I do believe in those old school values and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
But the way my life is set up right now, it's a lot of crazies out here. And, I got to keep that separate from them. And so you can't even know where I live at this point in time.
Yeah, and you have to be that way. You have to be that way. You got to be smart now.
Yeah.
You got to be smart. But I'm talking about having the conversations. The conversations can happen over the phone or they can happen through FaceTime because now we got this catfish thing going on. So you got to make sure that who you're talking to is who you're talking to. But you got to have the conversations, guys. We cannot be scared to have the upfront conversations about whatever. How you raising kids, what's your goals in life, everything. How you do things, everything. Put it on the table.
So you guys, we like to bring in one of you guys on our live, right? Okay. We want to bring you guys in for you all to come and talk to us.
Amy.
So who would like to come in? Who would like to join us on our live? You could say anything you want to say. You could give advice if you or talk from your own experience. Or you can, just give any type of comments. So who would like to raise their hand? Not everybody at one time. And who would like to raise their hand to join us live tonight? We're waiting.
Come on, y'all want to be on the screen?
I know that's kind of putting you on the spot, but, you can chime in. Some people might be with their bonnets on. I may. Oh, all right, Danielle. So you want to come on? Just kidding. Oh, no.
I was shocked. That's all right. We're going to get you on, Danielle. We're going to get you on. Don't even worry about it.
So
see, we were gonna let you pick your own topic. That's all right. We'll do it next time.
So
she's just getting back.
Okay. So well, we don't have any takers tonight. Yeah. So you guys, so that's gonna be a regular part of what we do. Yeah. Get yourself together. Don't be ready for Wednesday. Don't have your bonnets on. Because we are planning to bring people on live. We're not gonna just give you a invitation to come on live. Of course, we're gonna ask you because we respect you in that way. But we are going to invite you guys because we definitely believe in supporting you. We definitely believe in bringing value to the things that we're saying and hopes that it can help you or someone that you know. And we want your interaction and we want your feedback as it relates to the topics that we're sharing. So tonight, you guys, we have talked about some amazing things, right? So we talked initially about intentional dating and dating with a purpose. Then some of the key points of that dating with a purpose and intentional dating. Would you like to share with them some of the key points?
Some of the key points was having the hard discussions up front and being intentional, getting to know each other. That's what I see a lot of times. People don't take the time to just talk, to figure each other out, to learn each other. Because I promise you, if you start learning, now we're talking about two people that want to be in a relationship. If you start learning each other, or you'll figure out that they really don't want a relationship. Because again, I said everybody I was meeting said that they want a relationship. But you quickly weed them out. You quickly weed them out. So and just have the discussions. Don't be scared.
In addition to the discussion, we also mentioned that you want to first even know what you want. When you get out here and you start dating other people, you need to know what it is that you want so that when they come, you know what you're looking for, and you're not just out here blindly dating someone and want them to have all these great and wonderful things, and you don't have anything to offer to them.
And we forgot to talk about, forget about a type, people, please. Forget about a type. Forget about a type. And that's what I mean about saying, let men be men. Let men be men. Stop going after the guy. Forget about a type. So I think some of you missing it in that area as well.
So Nicole said, I'm open to coming on next Wednesday. I won't get ready for bed early. LOL. Hashtag Bonnie.
Thank you, Nicole. We'll be looking for you next week. Yes, we're going to look forward
to you coming on next week talking to us, Nicole. So we forgot, she said, don't forget about, we talked about the type. Type. So you're saying basically that people don't need to get focused in on what is that when you say type, like physical stuff, or
don't pigeonhole yourself into a certain type. Oh, I like dark skinned guys.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, I like light skinned guys. You know what I mean? Just be open. We need you to be open because I promise you, how you think he coming, he ain't coming.
What you think you want is probably not what you need, and probably what you probably don't need to have.
All of that, right? I promise you. And I'm so glad I wasn't like that.
So intentional dating. Some of the things that we talked. She said communication. Don't have a type.
Yes.
Making sure that you have those same qualities that you are out here intentionally looking for, right?
Exactly.
So making sure you have those same type of qualities, in addition to ensuring that you are you are definitely sticking to your truths and your values and your morals as it relates to you going out here and dating people. So not necessarily dropping those things after you meet a nice guy, right? Just because you are desperate, or just because you're thirsty to have a relationship, or to be in something, a situationship, or whatever you want to call it, or just to say that you have somebody. So sticking to your morals and your values and those things that are important to you. Don't settle. Don't make it fit.
Don't make it fit. Say next.
So you have to do that. Like if they come and they're not what you want, what do you got to do?
Next.
Okay. So it's real easy, you guys. It's real easy. Like you just cannot settle if you're gonna intentionally date with a purpose. If you're intentionally dating just to get something, or if you just dating just because that's what you just feel like doing and you really don't want anything out there, absolutely do whatever you need to do.
That's right.
Hey, more power to you. I hope you get everything that you're looking for.
But in 2019, we growing, we changing. We got to make changes, people. We can't keep doing it the same way, but we got to be open.
So some of the tips, so that was intentional dating. So then the next topic we discussed was the blended family and raising the kids.
Yes.
So what were some of the key takeaways for the blended family and raising the kids?
Just being on the same accord as well. I mean, making sure your discipline techniques are the same. You know, you got to have these same discussions when you're talking about blending families. Okay, so you and him get along. So now you're introducing the kids, but, well, because you've been coddling the kid over here because of a previous breakup or whatever, you know, trying to make that fit now. It's just you and him. But now you want it to be more than just you and your kid. Now you want to open it up, and now you're ready to date and have a relationship. Well, now he can't get along with nobody, or she can't get along with anybody. So we have to continue to raise our kids even when we get divorced or we go through a breakup, or we still have to be the parents.
Right. Okay. And then, so you definitely, the communication with the partner, ensuring that you guys communicating on one accord, making sure that you are including the children as it relates to you being a package deal. Like you can't accept the mama or the daddy without the kids. Like that's not even realistic, not especially if you're dating with intention and with purpose. Right.
And making those boundaries too.
With the
old relationships. Setting the boundaries
with the old relationship, because that would break up your relationship. Because what a woman or a man coming into a situation like that does not want to do is have to tell you how you need to set boundaries with so-and-so. You need to do that. That's not that other person's responsibility to tell you how you need to set boundaries. You have to already have that respect for your new relationship to have that boundary in place, that other person can understand that you can't penetrate what we got going on over here, because we don't want a cord. You know what I'm saying? Like when it was done, it was done. Like you over there, we're over here, and this is the boundaries. Either you respect it or you get off.
That's right.
Okay.
Gotta be first.
So we have the boundaries and respecting and being inclusive with the kids, and when to introduce the kids. I think we said about introducing the kids, you have to do it when you feel like you're comfortable and you know that this is it. You know what I'm saying? Don't just
know that you're actually in a relationship.
Right. Yeah. Don't just bring the kids in there just to try to win the other person over. I remember dating this guy, and he told me about this woman who had her daughter, like they were only dating for maybe a few weeks. I don't know how soon the daughter had gotten involved, but it's like he didn't have children. So, you know, that was very precious to him that she had gotten her. But it sounded to me, the way that he was describing it, is that she used the child to try to get somewhere as leverage, you know, with him. And I think that's really sad that women or anybody would use their children as pawns to just try to win over somebody in a relationship. Like, kids are not
because
pawns.
He didn't have kids.
Right.
So she's like, ooh, he really wants kids.
Right.
So let me,
Right. I just think that's really sad. So just please don't do that. Just please don't do that, because your kids are valuable. You know, they have feelings just like you have feelings. And you don't want to rush them and introduce them into something that is going nowhere fast. Right. So that was one of the things. Hi, Celeste. How are you doing? We're at the end of our broadcast tonight, but we were just kind of giving you guys a refresher. So feel free to share. Feel free to, you know, post any comments or questions that you guys may have on anything that we shared tonight. And we will be, we'll go back through the comments and the questions, and we'll be able to answer them, you know. So, Steph, what do you have going on, and how can people get in contact with you?
You can email me at StephanieRochelleConsulting@gmail.com. Of course, you can hit me here on Facebook. I am Stephanie Rochelle, the Relationship Rehab Specialist. You also can go to my website and subscribe. You can get me that way. My webpage is the RelationshipRehabSpecialist.com.
Okay. So, you guys, so if anything has supported you all in any way, Stephanie is a relationship rehab specialist. please feel free to give her a call. If you want to talk more with her offline, you know, just give her a call and set up a free strategy session with her so that she can better support you in your situation. As for me, I am D.Renee. I'm the transformation specialist. I support women with overcoming obstacles to help them elevate in life and business. And what that means is, as a transformational life coach and consultant, I support women with discovering who they are, increasing their self-esteem and self-confidence, in addition to dispelling limited beliefs as well as negative self-messages so that they can walk and elevate in life and business. So that's basically what I do. And if there's anything that you feel, if the information we've given out tonight is supported you in any kind of way, if you'd like to talk more with me after we get off, please feel free to inbox me. You can inbox me, or you can feel free to send me an email at info@tlccs.net. You may also go to my Facebook business page, which is D.Renee, the transformation specialist, or you can reach me via my website at D.Renee, DRENEE.org. So we hope that we have provided you guys with some valuable information. Yes. If there's anything else that you guys want to add on this topic, what we plan to do is each time that we come back to you every Wednesday is if we receive anything, we plan to bring that forward in the beginning of our sessions before we move on to the next topic, because we want to ensure that we're supporting you, or we're supporting someone that you know with the best and valuable information possible, right?
Exactly.
So,
oh, and let's not forget, I will see you back Mindset Mondays, typically 8 p.m., but it's New Year's Eve, so I may do something a little earlier because I will actually be out of town, or I may cancel it for that Monday, but I'll let you guys know. But typically, every Monday night, 8 p.m., Facebook Live. You can catch me right here.
Okay. And for me, I do have Transformation Tuesdays on my Facebook page at D.Renee, the Transformation Specialist. So my Transformation Tuesdays are every Tuesday at 8 p.m. So I didn't have it this past Tuesday, yesterday, which was Christmas, but I will have it on New Year's Day. Everybody should be nice and full with their black-eyed peas, rice, and greens, and all this traditional stuff they tell you to eat and don't really work out the way they say it. So, anyways, so we appreciate you guys.
Thank you so much.
Coming in.
Like and share. It could help somebody else.
Like, share, follow us on our pages so that you can be the first people to know when we go live and we do our meeting in the ladies' room.
Yes.
Okay? Well, we thank you so much, and we hope that you all have a beautiful, beautiful week.
Yeah. Good night.
Good night.